You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to hit record. Hey gamer, Hydra here, as usual. Now, I want to say first of all, Happy New Year. Um, but also, with this new year comes some old discussions, stuff that I found myself disagreeing with people on. The video came out by someone else talking about the farm for citrine. And the fact that he he struggled through farming citrine. That's kind of why I wanted to make this video. I wanted to discuss just kind of what I think is the problem with Tyana Pass, but also why people dislike Tyana Pass and why I don't dislike Tyana Pass. So let's get into it. Firstly, Tyana Pass is a mission on Mars. It is a mirror defense mission that can only be unlocked after completing the Heart of Deimos quest on, well, Deimos. This mission grants you access to the Warframe citrine as a rotation reward on sea rotations, and also provides you with a currency known as Balric crystal and Rania crystal fragments to purchase the blueprints for her components, her signature weapons, and much more from Otak on Deimos. Mirror defense is pretty simple in my opinion. It's more complex than some other game modes, but the idea is kind of simple at the end of the day. You just need to protect two different objectives and you need to go between them. So first half of a wave will be protecting one objective. Then after the timer finishes, you make your way over through a sort of transit area and end up at the second defense objective, and then just need to protect that one for the second half of the wave. Throughout the mission, there will be these floating things in the air. In the case of Tyana Pass, they are crystal fragments, and you just need to jump around and mash your face into them, and they will count towards a progress thing at the side of your HUD. At about 50, it will reinforce the objective, and it will create a ward. An elemental ward is this chroma ability. But you know what? A prismatic ward, yes. So when you do this, it also gives you a little extra currency. Same doesn't apply to the one on Deimos, but for citrines, you do get some extra Balric and Rania crystal fragments, which is very handy. Let's start off with why people dislike the mission. Honestly, it's taken me quite a bit of asking, because I didn't fully understand. I really love this mission myself. From what I've gathered, some complaints boil down to it takes too long. Others say that the pity system is not generous enough. And then others also describe the mission as simply difficult, and if you fail and an objective gets destroyed, you don't get the rewards that you've been building up to, and because defense objectives are destructible, there is always that risk. I don't think these are unfounded, mind you. I think there is reason behind these. But I will also say that with that comes another layer. Now, I don't want to blame players because every player has their own way of enjoying Warframe, and that's completely understandable. But there is, to some extent, a level of misunderstanding that comes with Tyana Pass. You see, rotation C means you must go up to wave 4. But when most people gained access to Tyana Pass, they were pretty new to the game. So there's a high chance that you didn't know what rotation C meant. You have had to do some scrolling and reading through the Warframe wiki, or asking some more experienced players before you'd be able to understand that I can only get blueprints for Citrine's components and the main blueprint from rotation C. So therein comes an issue. It's a decently early-ish game farm, but some knowledge is simply not told to you. Next comes the issue of the floating fragments and reinforcing them. Now, you could say that it is a problem of not listening, because the Lotus does mention that as enemies are killed, Citrine will give you these fragments throughout the map, and gathering enough of them will repair her crystal. At the same time, there is still that extra bit at the end, which is not said, that it will give you more currency. That currency is honestly, for many players, going to be a bigger incentive to reinforce her crystal rather than simply keeping it alive, because for players who figured out defense, like they've learned to wipe rooms, to crowd control them, or to simply defend the objective better with a good bubble of some sort, you will not really see a reason to go around grabbing the crystals. So again, there comes in that misunderstanding. The last issue being time, I think, is a matter of personal preference. If you don't like spending time to farm, that's kind of on you. I'm sorry. Like, there's only so much that can be said when it comes to this farm takes too long. I managed to farm up mostly mostly solo runs on Steel Path. A new citrine that's currently cooking in my foundry. It will be the 5th citrine I've crafted. But I farmed it all on my stream, and it took me under 5 hours, and honestly was not that bad. But it does come with my sense of game knowledge, because I do know how to play the game, and I have played Citrine's farm many times, so I understand how to how to enjoy it, so to speak, how to make it go smoothly. So yeah. So what can be done? Now, first of all, I'm a really small YouTuber, so I don't think anybody's gonna I don't think anybody at DE is gonna see this and be like, "Oh, I should follow her ideas." Um, but when it comes to discussion on what could be done, honestly, my first priority would be actually to just give a few more voice lines, I guess, pointers. I think at the end of each wave, when it shows you that screen to say, would you like to stay or go, it should show you like some kind of label to say that, oh, you are at wave 1, you'll get a rotation A reward, chance for citrine weapon, and then B reward, I forgot what they give you there, and then C reward, chance for citrine blueprint, right? Just put that label underneath the empty unfilled wave icon to show that you can get up to wave 4 and you can get the blueprint, but you have to stay on. So that players will understand how to get there, how to get her blueprints without leaving early and then discovering that they've uh, somewhat wasted time. You know, they did get the crystals, but they didn't roll a chance for the blueprints itself. So, you know. Another thing I would do at the end of each mission to have OTAC actually kind of call in and say, well, like, you know, like, well done. I can't do an OTAC voice. I did a Lloyd voice instead. Like, amazing work, Chip. Come on down to your old buddy OTAC on Deimos if you wanna cash in your crystals, like something like that, you know? So that players are reminded that they can use the pity system. And then they can see their progress. Because the only time he mentions it is in the mail, and I don't know how many people read or remember reading the mail in which he talks about Citrine. And then when it comes to reinforcing, I don't really know. Without one way could be to re-record the voice line in which the Lotus says, you know, collect enough remnants to reinforce. Or you could have it so that when you reinforce it, maybe the Lotus says like, well done, it will be like, look, Tenno, it seems Citrine has wanted, it seems Citrine left, is rewarding you for aiding her, or something like that, or like, have OTAC, again, be like, I don't know, there's many ways to do it, but to give players a better understanding of the mechanics of Tyana Pass, I think would be a great way to make the farm more comfortable for players. Now regarding the pity system, and I know people have complained about the pity system, but I mean I personally don't think it's that bad. Again, I could farm her up in under 5 hours, including messing around. So it can't be that bad. I did do it on Steel Path though. So for normal, like, for normal Star Chart, maybe they could make it a little easier to get her parts, like, to give more crystals on non-steel path. Alternatively, if the male gave you a few Barrack Rana crystals, or her main blueprint, I think that would make players go, oh, okay. Like, I'm already part way through. And even though I'm a newbie on the star chart, I could work towards getting citrine, since I've already got some progress. It would be like with Garuda or um, Gara, you know, Ozaku, right? Where you get the blueprint, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. But yeah, definitely, like you should be given a head start for obtaining your first citrine. But lastly, I'd like to end off this video by sharing what I personally really love about Tyana Pass. Um, I really enjoy the fact that it encourages team play, especially for newer players. Tyana Pass is one of those missions where it highly benefits from having one person to defend the point and one person to go around grabbing the rocks, and both of you can obviously get kills, which will help spawn more fragments. The fact that this at least two role synergy just makes farming so much better. It feels really good, in my opinion, because it means that you are being rewarded for playing in a team. I also really enjoy the fact that it is not a very stationary farm. It's not mindless. Most farms, you know, like if you're farming for Varuna, you're probably just gonna sit in an Omnia Fisher on Lua Survival and just kind of wait for the lure threats to appear and just kind of, yeah, like it is kind of mindless in that sense. Uh, and then for some assassination type bosses, you kind of just run in, kill, and then run out, you know. Not that all bosses are mindless. I will say even even the Jackal on Venus is quite a fun fight, and it does give you Rhino. So yeah, like mainly I will say I don't know. I like how engaging Tyana Pass is, and I really do think that people get a little too mean about this farm when realistically, if I can farm up 5 of her, and I've got so many more blueprints in the foundry for her and her components and her signatures, and she's a strong frame worth farming because, I mean, I could even solo uh, the Descendia final boss on Steel Path with Citrine and a staff loss. Like, I really don't think her farm is that bad, and I think people could afford to be a little kinder about Tiana Pass and about Citrine. Okay, that will be it from me for today. If you'd like to see more of me, I do live stream. Best place for you to know when I'll be streaming next is in my Discord. Link is in the description in the link tree. That and a bunch of other stuff as well. Obviously, you know, if you like the video, then if you like Tiana Pass, well, you know what to do. If you don't like or you disagree with me, uh, honestly, just let me know in the comments because I want to find out. And I do think it's important that we share and that I would love to understand and empathize better with the woes that y'all have with this farm. As always, you know, please be civil and polite, but I've never really had any issues, so I think y'all are probably fine. Yeah, and that should be it. I'll see y'all in the future. As always, stay hydrated, stay good to yourself, be good to yourself rather. I'll see y'all in the future. Sorry, as I was saying, and this is also a postscript. Um, I think it's really cool. For those who have done like Duviri and all of that, I do really think that it's cool that Tyana Pass discusses like kind of hints the thing of like conceptual embodiment and like void mechanics. The fact that the aura worm is here along with all of this and like I mean the whole thing of the void tunnel are just really really cool because this kind of shows like the whole Citrine's last wish thing. My dog is running in circles. This whole Citrine's last wish thing, and like the idea that a Warframe along with a couple's bond was so strong that it could form a void tunnel between two crystals, uh, is genuinely genuinely a really cool thing to bring up so early in the game, and it kind of feels rewarding, in my opinion, when I can go back into this mission many hours after my first ever citrine was unlocked and find that, oh yeah, that's the aura worm. Oh yeah, this is the void. You know, like, and to fully understand the void. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling here again, but I just think it's really cool that like this isn't just some one-off thing. This void tunnel is kind of like really connected in the lore, and it's yeah, yeah. Oh, my dog is sure. It's not even a dog. It's more like a lion. Lion? Lion. Anyways, goodness me. Oh yeah.